G'day guys, Jeff here, and how to fly a helicopter. So I'm going to simplify the controls a little bit, but they do relate to the real world application just a little bit. So the right hand stick is what I'm going to use at the start, and this controls the pitch forward and back. Think of the main rotor tilting forward or tilting back. That's exactly what it's doing here. And when you move it left and right, you're actually controlling the anti-torque pedals or the tail rotor, and that creates the yaw. Now you could fly the entire match when you're learning by just full power and the right stick. So that's controlling the, like I said, the pitch up and down and the yaw left and right. You just think of the main rotor as opposing gravity. So when it's perpendicular to the ground, you're opposing gravity with the amount of throttle that they've put into the game code. And the right trigger actually, it's more to do with collective in helicopter terms, but just think of it as increasing lift or decreasing lift when you use the left trigger. So that main rotor opposes gravity in a perpendicular plane, and then when you actually tilt it at any sort of angle up to 20 degrees, then you are actually having to apply power because you no longer have the full force of the rotor opposing gravity. That means that when the nose is pitched down a little bit, you need to have almost, well in this game you have to have full throttle effectively. Right, so the left stick on the controller controls the main rotor blades again, but only tilts it to the left and right. That's how you can get some of the strafing happening. So that's full left application, and I move to left, and full right. I don't really need throttle there because I'm fairly level to the environment. Now if it was real life there would need to be some sort of throttle, but obviously this is a game. You need to really apply throttle when you're changing pitch, like pitching down here. So what I'm doing right now is full controls to the left, and that means it gives you a high speed turn in one direction. Full controls to the right, same sort of deal, but I have full throttle on, and the reason I hit the ground there is because my nose was pitched too far forward when I was doing that maneuver, so the throttle couldn't overcome gravity and it goes down. But rewind that and have a look and you'll see. Now when the nose is pitched down like this, you'll see that with my right hand I'm actually correcting the pitch as I go, keeping an eye on my altitude. I'm using the left stick or the main rotor to tilt right, which is giving me the right hand circle strafe, and I'm using the right thumbstick to control the yaw to point at the target before I shoot, and to control my pitch so that I maintain altitude. So think of pitch as maintaining altitude when doing this maneuver, but it's full throttle application at all times. So it's once you've gone full throttle and you've pushed to the right with the left stick, it's pretty much the one control that you have to look after as well as shooting. The right thumbstick is all you have to look after. So this is a maneuver in backwards. I don't remember how long I do it for, but you obviously reverse controls and you can get it to go in the opposite direction. This is a strafe to full left, but it's a forward strafe, so the nose is pitched forward a little bit, but I had the left stick pushed to the far left, so that gives me a sideways flying action. And also, if people are shooting at you with rockets, you use the right stick to quickly flick the yaw of the helicopter left and right to obviously, or hopefully try to miss the rocket. Now that's a lot harder in the Black Hawks than the Apaches, Havocs and Hinds, but practice makes perfect. So one thing you want to do is get into a game and actually practice pivoting on a spot. So here I'll do a slow turn using opposite controls to find a target, and actually didn't find a target, but let's spin around again. There he is. So I told him just to fly away. With this, what I wanted to show is that, see how I'm flying over the top? People crash because I got one cycle of the weapon into the target and then they pitch the nose forward to try to get that last cycle in. But the thing is, if you pitch your nose forward any further than what I did just then, you may not make it if you don't have the altitude. So it's not worthwhile doing it. What you should do is actually pivot around a target, which is what I'm about to show you. So instead of flying over the top of a tank and then pitching the nose all the way to point to the ground and firing, try to stay away from that. That's one way of getting into trouble very, very quickly. So with the external view here, I was trying to, you can't really see it, but I was trying to show off that when you're using the left stick to the right, the helicopter does angle away. That's what creates the strafe. So right now I've got full left stick to the right, and I'm using the right stick to control what I'm pointing at, the application or the direction that I'm aiming at. Full throttle at all times. So here I think we go into the circle strafing maneuvers before the video ends. So obviously flying a little bit slower here, I can get a few shots in. Again, you need to be mindful of the KLGs or RPGs or tracers. But instead of pitching down, I fly over the target. I quickly spin in one direction by putting the controls in the same direction, and now I can start a strafing maneuver. I pitched up there just to get some momentum backwards, and now I'm starting to turn on a dime. And you can see that I can get a lot more hits into it by keeping myself moving and not really putting myself in jeopardy with hitting the ground. Anyway guys, I hope that gave you some tips. Practice makes perfect. And until next time, I will see you.